What's up, guys? I'm Tim Geddes. I'm here with Jose Otero. Jose, every year I come to E3, and every year the game that I want is a new Star Fox.
Okay.
I'm always disappointed. But now, I'm not disappointed, and you got to play it.
I did.
How is it?
Yeah, all right. So Star Fox is being worked on by Miyamoto. It involves the gamepad now, and so the way you remember Star Fox playing, they're pretty much sticking to that for the most part, where the analog stick is the primary input for how you fly. The right stick is for the fancy tricks, so you can do your barrel rolls or your 180s and whatnot. And the way the gamepad works with it is actually really interesting because on the gamepad screen you have a first-person view with their aiming reticle, and so you can change the aiming reticle to you're basically aiming with the gamepad, but you're using the left stick to fly, so you're kind of looking between both. Now, I'm sure in your mind you're like, well, how does that help Star Fox? I'll tell you how. Take my iPhone. All right. In prior Star Foxes, if this was an R-wing and I was shooting at you, the reticle would sort of move with the ship.
Yeah.
So I'd be shooting at you, and then I'd sort of have to pull away because I don't want to collide against the character that is Tim Geddes.
Yes.
With this new controller setup, they've set it up so that I can basically set up sort of these flying routes where I can continue to fire on you the entire time. I could have the ship going one way and aiming completely the other.
Okay, so it's more like a traditional first-person shooter with
a little
vehicles.
bit,
so it's
a
like
little
the
bit.
Banshee and Halo, kind of?
A little bit. And so far, they're tying all of the aiming mechanics to the gamepad. They're also tying or toying around with ideas of playing as different sort of ships. So right now they have sort of the tank that you saw on one of the Landmaster's back. You click in the right stick, I think it was, and it'll transform and drop to the ground. It's instant. The one thing about it that I have to tell you though is this tech demo is super early. This was something that was more like, hey, we're working on this, we're looking at ways to incorporate the gamepad into it, and so visually it was not something that's going to blow the doors off of anything.
So it really felt like a tech demo, not a game.
That was one of the things about it, and it struck me as uncharacteristic a little bit too, because Miyamoto and Nintendo usually does not show anything this early, but I think they're confident in that they found another use for the gamepad, and it's going to be a big thing in the next Star Fox.
So the big question I have is, do you think this is going to actually happen? Because I have the worry that it's just a tech demo, and it's just showing off, hey, we found a use for the gamepad. But I'm worried that since it's so early, it might not actually happen.
Yeah, so they've been clear that this is a game that will be made. Star Fox is the working title, but they are currently looking for a development partner to help them get this game done by next year. They want to be done with it in a year. So presumably by next E3, we should have some more details and specifics about the release date for that Star Fox game.
Okay, so from what you played, was it like Star Fox 64 where you're kind of like in a valley going through?
Great
or
question.
Was it more like the all-range mode of the boss fights?
It was the all-range mode of the boss fights, but a question was asked about that, and Miyamoto says, yeah, the valleys and sort of the on-rail sections will be returning, but they're trying to find ways to play around with that as well. It's still super early, and then the bigger question is, are you going to get out of your ship? Is that going to be another portion of it? Well, at least let's hope that if they do approach that idea again, that Miyamoto finds a way to make it more interesting than the last time. And I have a lot of faith in him. I think that he very much could, but I found it very interesting that it is super early and it is a tech demo, but they are committing to making this game, and it's going to be a thing that's going to happen.
Last question.
Okay.
What characters did we see?
Good question. Let's see. Falco. You saw basically the
So we got
5-man roster.
Was Cappy there?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, we got Slippy?
Yes.
Was Crystal there?
No, I don't think so.
No Crystal.
Yeah,
Interesting.
but it's still really early, so there's no way to really tell. The other ship, by the way, that you got to play was more like a hovercraft / like helicopter style
yeah,
thing.
there's like a helicopter.
Yeah,
That's
and you can
pretty
deploy a robot out of the bottom, so it'll come out on an umbilical cable. And on the gamepad, you'll actually see the first-person perspective and be able to drive that thing remotely. But it comes at the risk of you just hovering and not taking fire. So you have to be sort of very careful with when you use it. In that stage, it was also really cool because they had like this big Godzilla-style monster roaming around in the background. So again, we're definitely, it's way too early to tell anything concrete, but it is something that they are committing to and that I think hopefully they can figure out because they need more games that use the gamepad, and this could be a prime opportunity for it. My only hope, they don't just limit it to the gamepad. Like if someone wants to use that right stick or other controller configurations for aiming, maybe that they toy around with those ideas as well, because otherwise some folks may not want to approach it for that very reason.
Yeah. Well, Jose, you got me excited. For all of your Star Fox news, stay tuned to IGN.